Hey you guys, it's Dani. We got a different view. We got a different view today. Hopefully everything will match up as best as possible. I'm really trying, you guys. But I figured this would be the best way. So today we are going to be doing the hashtag Beetlejuice tarot tag. This is from Robin, and I thoroughly enjoyed watching this tag. Robin is absolutely delightful. I have her video linked down below as well as the prompts. And I mean, it's Beetlejuice. So, I mean, how much more fun could it possibly be? So we're going to dive right in. There are 7 prompts today. I think I have all tarot. I think I grabbed all tarot. I didn't grab any oracle today. So let's dive right in. So number 1, it's Showtime, a deck that feels cinematic. So immediately when I thought of a cinematic deck, I thought about this deck. Can't tell what's in it, but I mean, you can see how cinematic this looks already. But that's the Bohemian Gothic Tarot. It just has that whole cinematic vibe to it. Oh, even the backs. Ugh. I love this deck. It is a whole mood. It's a whole mood. I think what makes it feel so cinematic is the depth of the color that's on it. And even like looking at it this way, what it looks like in person and what it looks like on screen is still totally different. There's so much depth and darkness in the card. It's kind of hard to describe. But it feels like you can walk around this whole place. Everything feels seamless in that way, where it's almost like you're walking through and discovering all these things in this gothic castle. If I was going to be in a movie, I'd want to be in a movie like this. Very Crimson Peak. That's kind of what it reminds me of, you know? The Draculas. It's just so picturesque. Love this deck. So this one is the Baba Studios Bohemian Gothic. Number 2 is I'm the Ghost with the Most. So a Ghoulish deck. And when I thought about Ghoulish, I'm like, well, I mean, Bosh. What's more ghoulish, right? So this deck is wild. And some of the scenes are funny, and some are terrifying and absolutely horrific. And some are downright ghoulish, I think. I think it's the whole oddities. And then just like some of the, I don't know, terrifying chaos that we have right here. Like he's got some kind of structure upon his head, but also wielding a knife. Sin of Wrath. This is terrifying to me. We have these really strange creatures all mixed throughout. Oop. It is just a very specific kind of deck. You know what I mean? Look at look at this. Definitely one where the devil is in the details, right? We're performing brain surgery. Need I say more? So this is the Hieronymus Bosch Tarot by Travis McHenry. This next prompt, I feel, is just like me in a nutshell. Like my deck style in a nutshell. The I myself am strange and unusual. A deck that's weird but lovable. Like, most of my decks are weird but lovable. Most of them are. But I chose for this one Tarot de Ambiguities. This is an artisan tarot. This one is like, it's subtle, right? It's a subtle weird, which I find makes it lovable. Like, I understand that we're gonna have some uncomfortable images, like human heads on things that should not have human heads, animal heads on things that should not have animal heads, decapitated heads, but look how fun! We have our feet, our hands, and then, like I said, we have switched heads on many a things. And so, while it is strange and odd when you look close, you don't have to pay attention to the fact that it's a bloody head. It's just a nice head that's a pentacle. You know what I mean? It's got good vibes. It's got good vibes. I have all of these turned every which way. Yeah, I mostly live on weird and lovable. And this one I found fit the bill perfectly. And it's got anatomical hearts, which are just my jam. Onwards and upwards to number 4. So we have My Whole Life is a Dark Room. A deck that is photographic, or a deck that feels like you're looking into a photo. So I just got this guy in from one of my friends. And it is a photographic deck. And it is something wild. I have not worked with it yet, but I've flipped through it and looked through it, and I am just like, oh my gosh. Y'all know we like strange here. So just know that that's coming. This is like photograph, I'm assuming collage, or maybe it was staged. But we have some really interesting depictions in here. Check this out. And then we literally have pictures in frames of our minors. So this is Pip Dex. We have our wand, our batons against a tree. All different kinds. This is a wild deck. I don't know if it's in print or not. Check out our court cards. I just love the campiness of this deck. Like, look at the fire. Look at this. And everything is so ornate. Like, the frames are really ornate. Look at these cups. I don't know, I'm kind of obsessed. And it's just like all different kinds of goblets. So yeah, this is a photographic deck in my collection that is new to me, and I can't lie, I'm just vibing with it. I really am. Like, look, I don't know. This is awesome. Anyway, this next prompt made me laugh out loud. So on to number 5. Nice fucking model. Details. Everything is in the details. So when I thought about details, the first thing that popped into mind, as you will see, you see the pink. You see the pink already? One of these decks is not like any of the others. But when I thought details, I thought Unicorn's Journey Tarot. Because when it comes to details, like, I really don't feel like you can get much better than this. Because not only do we have a main overflowing story, like, you know, a full story, we also have mini stories. We also have, like, clues, what feels like little Easter eggs throughout the entire deck. And we often see the same scene played out from different perspectives. So we have something going on right here where later in the deck, we're going to see up close what's happening. We see them looking here. Later on, we're going to see from their point of view. It's absolutely amazing to me. Everything is so intentional. From the little hieroglyphics on the wall to what's happening throughout each suit that goes along with the story. I mean, we're seeing some of the same stones go from rough to smooth. We have morphing reflections. We have different situations going on at different times. It's amazing. It's like being in the world because you get to see it from all the different perspectives. And then, can we see we have the markings on the tree, the animals in the background. But here, we see that arena from the beginning. We see something else happening in that same arena. It's just, oh, it's so much attention to detail. So many clues hidden throughout. We see, look, the feather, the egg, there's the nest, there's another unicorn in the back here. There's, I love it. Details. This deck has details coming out its ears. So this is the Unicorn's Journey Tarot by our own sweet Lisa Pepez. Yeah, definitely one of what it feels like one of my most detailed decks because it's attention to detail on multiple levels. So definitely the first one I thought of for that. Okay, number 6. I don't think we survived that crash. This is a deck that brings harsh truths to light. For me, nothing does that better than playing cards. A spade's a spade. A spade is a spade. And so, for me, you want the harsh truth. You want the bottom line. This is where you gotta go. Just playing cards. Because for me, this is the least amount of wiggle room. In the way that I read, there's like the least amount of wiggle room when it comes to playing cards. So there's also a realness, a harshness to life that kind of weaves through the way that I read playing cards. So it's not something that I take lightly and that I use for just anyone for any reason. So yeah, these I would definitely say are the ones that'll bring the truth to light, no matter how blunt it may seem. And our last prompt is, and you let Beetlejuice out and you didn't put him back. A deck that can get a little out of pocket sometimes. Cursed Auguries. It can be a little much. This deck feels very magical to me. But we get a little out of pocket sometimes. These are not the most comfortable images, even though some are simply nails, eggs, shells. There's something that leaves a little unsettling feeling in the air, I guess. Sorry, I'm all covering all this. And I think that of all the decks that I own, and I mean, I have some weird and some gross and some, horror decks, but there's something about this one that I find has such a big impact on the way people feel about it, even with its extreme simplicity. Like I said, there's something really deep woods magic feeling about this that, I don't know, just, I'm here for it. But yeah, it's definitely one I would consider to be a bit out of pocket, for sure. So thanks so much for joining me, you guys, and thank you so much, Robin, for doing this tag. This was so much fun. If you guys do it, please let me know, let Robin know. We would love to see it, I'm sure. So thanks again, you guys. If you are looking for Robin's channel, it's going to be linked down below, the prompts, and anything that I have here that I can link down below, I'll do that for you guys as well. And yeah, I will see you all very soon. I'm sending you all my love. Mwah. Later, Gators.